It's a Saturday in Advent, and why don't we go through the Fisk doors to find out what's on the living Advent calendar. Come with me inside. One of the central figures of Advent, of course, is John the Baptist. And so I recently went to talk to my stuffed animal friends, and I asked them if any of them wanted to take the role of John the Baptist this Advent. And I did have one taker, and that taker was the walrus. The walrus said, yes, I would like to play John the Baptist. I would like to be the person assigned to stand for John the Baptist this Advent. And I said, oh, why is that, walrus? And the walrus said, because people don't listen to walruses. And people often don't listen to the voice of John the Baptist. I said, well, can you explain that to me? He said, yes. He said, walruses are endangered. He said, walruses are massive, mighty, wonderful, glorious creatures. But we're endangered because of climate change, because we're losing our natural habitat, because the ice that we depend on in the Arctic is melting, and we're endangered as a result of that. And our voices are not heard. And I said, well, do you think that has something, that gives you something in common with John the Baptist? Yes, said the walrus, yes, I do. And I said, well, explain that to me. And he said, well, John the Baptist came preaching repentance and forgiveness. But people don't listen to the message of repentance and forgiveness. Not really and truly. Not in this world of ours where we're destroying the planet itself and paying no attention to what's happening because of climate change and the way we contribute to it. I said, well, John the Baptist came preaching that the light of Christ was coming. And the walrus said to me, that's right, but people don't prefer the light. Look at the warfare and violence that exist in our land, in our world, and tell me that people listen to the voices that proclaim light coming through darkness. And I said, well, of course, John the Baptist came telling people to prepare the way of the Lord and make straight his ways. And the walrus said to me, do you really think that the world is making straight the way of the Lord? Do you really think that the world is preparing for the coming of Christ? And I said to the walrus, well, we have to try in our hearts. We have to begin with our own hearts. And the walrus said, yes. He said, I'm willing to begin in my heart to prepare the way of the Lord. And that's why I want to be John the Baptist. So I told the walrus, all right, you can stand in for John the Baptist. So the walrus will join his friends over there with the eagle and the beagle and the ostrich. He'll be taking the voice of John the Baptist and reminding us to prepare the way of the Lord and make straight his paths, and hoping that we listen to the voice of the walrus.